middle of April, and it's been a very late spring for us. This week's been warmer. Here I have some onions that I started from seed that I really need to put in the ground. Some celery transplants that I don't have a spot to put these veggies in yet. Kind of under construction. One of my new hellebores. I think I got 5 new ones this year, but this is the only one in flower right now. My little daffs are finally opening. This one's extra cute. Of course, I don't remember the names of these. I'll have to look them up. Yeah, so it's been a productive week. It's been fairly cool. This week we've had some nice days. We even hit 80, which I believe was a record for us. These little mounds are the mulch that I need to spread. I'm trying a different one this year. It's the Coast of Maine Dark Harbor. Normally I use Fundy, which is enriched with seaweed. So I've rearranged some things in here. Don't mind that tray of plants. Those shipped to me in February and I need to find a home. I divided some of my alliums, which is why they are wilty, because it was not a great time to divide them, but I wanted to give it a shot. Now they'll be spaced out evenly around the foundation. I've got these new daffodils. When I plant in the fall, I'm kind of over gardening, so I don't keep great records of the fall bulbs that I put in. And my winter sowing is doing okay. The expected ones, like the bachelor's button, are very, very successful. Their lid's been open for a day, so they're kind of adjusting. Larkspur's doing okay, and flax is the other one that we have some success in there. That's kind of fun. So this bed I've cleaned a lot out. I used to have some messy ground cover sedum around the edge. Dug all of that up. I'm still enjoying the autumn joy that's there in the middle. We got the poppy that'll bloom this spring. This is one of our construction projects. Today, my husband cut down, we have a very large pine there. All of these pines here were young little saplings when we moved in, and they've just grown tremendously. And the pine that we cut down was projecting a lot of shade over here where I try to have my cut flowers. And I had to do something to save the light situation. So all we're doing over here is bringing it more forward. I need to put in more fill. I'll have a bulk load as soon as the roads are unposted and it's dried up a little bit. I mean, ideally, I'm gonna do a wall along the front, and I'm actually thinking cinder blocks because it's such a larger space. As much as I like the stones in the front of the house, the small paver stones, I think the cinder blocks will be better because I do need to add fill and bring it up a little bit and do something about the drainage. I just set up the fence temporarily, got to get the leaves out of there. I did transplant a couple of perennials over here as well. Those little sedum cuttings came back okay. I would say a majority of them survived. So when I do the Chelsea drop on those autumn joys in the front of the house, I'm going to stick them back in here again. So what did I move? We still have the Rudbeckia back there that a friend gave me. I moved one of the echinops, so now they're 2 right there rather than being spread out. Hydrangea's been pruned, peonies are coming up. There is my second hydrangea. It's exactly the same, they're both quick fire. I brought it up there because I thought it would look nicer. Impact. It came from way over there, which was nice, but I'm kind of working on that area. Still need to fix my arch and deal with the stakes. So I have some seedlings that I would love to get in the ground, but the garden's not ready in that I'm having this big hemlock removed, or this is my plan. It's a very, very large tree. So it's kind of a big project. I'm gonna have to take all of that fencing down. So that's kind of holding my plans up. It's either don't plant or wait until fall and have it removed then, but it's just disgusting and I hate looking at it. And clearly it's diseased. These pallets were because what I would like to do is expand this railing all the way along the back, possibly remove this little tree, whatever it is. I don't mind the looks of it, but it's shading over here. Granted, all these other large trees are casting shade, and I live on the edge of the woods, so there's not a lot I can do about that. But I don't have a lot of perennials here. Every year I say I'm going to work on this garden, and I try, and I either peter out or the voles and deer come and eat whatever hostas I put here. It's still wet. So what you're seeing, all of this green right now, is the forget-me-nots that I sprinkle the seed everywhere and let them come up. So I'm thinking if this tree goes, this lattice will go, and we'll just kind of extend the fence over here. So it will still be shade here, but I kind of want to extend it into one large plot. So we'll have all of this be one and all of that be another, rather than a bunch of disjointed smaller squares. Yeah, so this is in construction zone, which is where I really need to get the seedlings in, but like I said, not ready yet. We did leaf blow this week, which I love because it's kind of like vacuuming. It just cleans everything up. Not perfectly, because this was very, very wet until we had that 80-degree day. It's dried up fairly well. Butterbur is just the cutest little thing ever. These are getting ready to bloom, larger, which is so unique. And there's some new runners, which I'm happy to let it fill in back here because of this swampy wet mess. Here's one of the flowers that's gone by. Just so cool, unique, symmetrical. I like it. Looks like things did fine over here considering it's very wet and squishy still. And I only had bark mulch. This is the stilby. I'm pretty sure I threw some plants and bulbs in here. Again, I didn't track them. Like, that's why I have that marker there, but I couldn't tell you what I put there. This is my spirea, I believe. Hopefully that, oh, it is coming along. We've got some buds. Okay. The shrubs are taking a while. Like I say, we're very behind. That's okay. Not bright enough to get the dafts popping back here. This guy's coming back. Snake root, right? Yep. Black negligee. I'm excited for these geraniums that I put in the fall. And I'm also kind of excited for this little rock cress. I think that's a very cute spot for it. I do have that little brunnera. That looks cute. Yeah, so the deer. I have a herd of deer that have been around very heavily this past month. Babies, moms, we're kind of like the daycare slash snack bar. They've devoured all of my daylilies that are around the perimeter. And I've been putting repellent down, so conveniently I have not seen them as much. I think the repellent's helping. Here are some of my older established hellebores. Oh, so many blooms, just gorgeous. This one just slightly paler. So this is mahogany snow, and this other one is pink frost. So pretty. Again, different. So this was leaf blown. You can see how wet it is. Just ugh. This hellebore is not doing well. It's always been fairly puny. I mean, she still has life, but I'm gonna let it hang in there. Hopefully she resurges back. I'm walking in the garden, which I know you're not supposed to do, but it's so wet out there. So not a lot to see here. Just little babies emerging. Hostas are just peeking through. And I've also been putting vole repellent down because the voles definitely have been around this winter. We've got our bleeding heart. One of them. Looking nice. Oh, this is a good one. Brother Stefan. See, he's sticking right up there. That's a great sign. This is another one of my new hellebores. Just a little guy. But kind of excited if it is actually that peachy color. And this was the new one last year that I put in. Glenda's Gloss. So different. I really like the bicolor. And because it's such a wet bed in the winter, a lot of this stuff heaves out of the ground. So I had to come in with some compost and kind of bury things back in. The variegation on this is so cute. It's the Stairway to Heaven Jacob's Ladder. Oh, there's the Brunnera. I've been waiting for this to pop out. Itty bitty, you can see, maybe you can't see, vole damage, like all the cracks in the earth. That's the voles. So pretty much they winter over in this part of the yard because it's where the septic is, leach field, whatever. And I'm fine with them being over there. I'd rather they were over here than everywhere else because they did get into my front bed last year. And over here, oops, so it doesn't look like much, but where that basketball is and that large rock, I did put in some daylilies that I had in front of the house. I didn't really like them there because daylily foliage is not my favorite, and I didn't love them, and that's the part of the house I see all the time. So I put them over there. It's going to be my little memorial for my duck who's passed and my kitty, and it should be a new area. But the deer ate the lilies the day I put them there. Still not beautiful over here. This is obviously winter storage as well, but the things that I did put over here survived. My clematis budding up, looking good. I gotta help get it trained up on the trellis. I do have gorgeous cup and saucer vine seedlings in the house that I'm thinking I'm gonna put over here. So this is the kind of the southwest side of the house. I hope it gets enough sun, so I might put half the seedlings here and the other half over on that cattle panel trellis with the clematis, sweet autumn. These were some kind of dead plants left over from last year, and I know I said I wasn't going to winter them over. I didn't. These are just kind of like, well, if they survive, they survive. I didn't, buy them with the intention of saving them, and I think they're going to survive. Maybe. We'll see. This one, no tag, but it is a delphinium, which in the past I've not had good luck with delphinium. I say that, but the one that I did plant over here last year came back as well. Super, super shocked. But please, this is my other gorgeous bleeding heart. Very established. Another hellebore. Different than the rest. It's kind of a little rock star. And all of these super clearance echinacea that I planted last year, I think I paid like $2, $2.50. They all survived, all came back. I hope they look good. And I'm happy the columbine self-seeded. I kind of help those out by sprinkling the seeds. And the echinops, which is this guy, and I divided and put over on the side hill, has a bunch of little babies popping up, and I'm okay with that. Hopefully my large hibiscus comes back. And maybe I'll throw a cup and saucer vine on this little trellis. So these trellises aren't much, but they just kind of fill in all of that ugly white vinyl siding that isn't much to look at. Not that people hang out over here. Oh, this is my other new hellebore. Spanish flare. Hopefully a yellow one. This is my ranunculus patch. First time trying it. Of course, I put it out and then it was like 20 degrees that night, and then 2 days later 80 degrees. So the weather's been a little fickle. I think they'll be perfectly fine. They just might be a little delayed, but overall pretty healthy. I mean, some of this is dying back. I just hope I get some blooms, like to do all of this work and babying and planting and all of that. And then I didn't want to overstuff it, so I did a little planter over here too. Same thing, they don't look great, but we'll see. So I'm excited. Spring is starting off really nicely this year, even if it is late.